Well, hello everyone. I'm here for another catch up with Mayo live stream Q&A, hanging out, letting you know what's going on, asking me what's going on. It's Saturday, and of course it's 4 p.m. Eastern, and right now, these days, this means this is the time that I do this every week. And I guess I say at the top every time I do it pretty much. We'll see where the future takes me with that. I may have to do them Sunday mornings at like 9:30 a.m. Eastern or even 10 a.m. Eastern, something like that, in the next month or so. Or I'll keep them here. We don't know. So hello to people who are here already. Tudor Spliff, Woodland Goblin, Rome Loves Dan, and Christopher628. We got a comment here. Fab Fortnite for Mayo and my friend Annie must have a video report. Well, that's my intention. Um, Tonight I'm going to be seeing the band, the Fab Four tribute band. I got free tickets. Anthony wanted to go, and I just didn't feel like paying for him. And I said, I don't know. And then my store owner had a couple of free tickets, so we're going to be going there free. The only thing is, it does say obstruction on it. So the tickets, the view is some kind of obstruction. I don't know how severe it is. May not be able to see the band. We just hear them. I don't know. But we're going to be going out to dinner, and we're going to make a video. I'll make a video of us going out to dinner and us maybe, going to the show and all that kind of stuff. I won't put much music in it. Maybe a little bit here and there. So anyway, Chris McGovern is here. Hello, Chris, and he reminds us the second half of my interview is up. I did an interview on a podcast called the Gen X Muse, and it's a two-parter. So that the first part was up. Now the second part is up. So I had fun doing that. Thank you very much, Chris. Hello to Nicholas. Hello to Nick. Hello to the King in the Fab Four. George, music for all four seasons. Henry, and here we go. Rome Loves Dance says, I've loved every Fab Four show I have seen. Okay, that's good. Are they the kind of band that puts the different suits on, the different outfits, or are they just mostly concerned? I know the Fab Faux, Faux. They don't really. I don't believe they bother dressing up in Beatles clothing. You know. Thank you, Chris. Let's see. Okay, Henry says your latest rant video was great. I work at Walmart, and they completely replaced regular checkouts with self-checkouts. They abandoned it years ago. Oh, that's gonna suck. They haven't done that here for everything, but like anything else, you learn how to do it. There was a time when I didn't even like pumping my own gas. I thought, what the hell do I gotta get out of the car for? Especially like on a winter's day, you're paying for gas. You pull up, let the guy come and serve you. Take care of putting the gas in. But now I'm long used to that. I'll probably get used to self checkouts too. Hello, Lila. What's your favorite track on the early Beatles album, the Tony Sheridan albums? Well, my favorite track is actually, the ones that have the actual Beatles on them. I like "Ain't She Sweet" with John doing the lead vocal, and I also like "Cry for a Shadow," which is the instrumental track that John did, and it's credited as the only Lennon and George Harrison composition. Other than that, I like My Bonnie, the non-Beatle track with Tony Sheridan singing. I like, My Bonnie. I like Sweet Georgia Brown. I like Take Out Some Insurance on Me, Baby. Like that. Okay, Penny Lane. Hello, thank you. You're in my ears, Penny Lane, in my eyes also. Just so you know, you know that already. But whatever. Okay. Excuse me. Got again allergies. I get problems with allergies all year, and dryness of the throat, and sometimes it doesn't bother me at all. Sometimes I got to keep on clearing my throat. So see what we can do about that. Yeah. Okay. So we learn about this. There you go. Okay. There you go. Uh, okay. Hello, Danny Ambrosi. What's my favorite America song? Well, I don't know many. I mean, I really like A Horse with No Name, but I don't really know a lot of America songs. Hello, new era of music. What are my thoughts about the song "Woman" from the Double Fantasy album and "Living on Borrowed Time"? I like both songs very much. I remember when the Double Fantasy album first came out. I was a teenager, and I didn't really think that much of it. I was a little disappointed because it just it just wasn't real cutting edge from John. It was more laid back, adult contemporary stuff. These days, though, I think the song "Woman" is a classic. I think it's a John Lennon classic. It's a gorgeous song, and "Borrowed Time" is also a very nice song too. Nothing is real says I should give Louis Armstrong a listen. I like Louis Armstrong. I got no problem. I don't know how much I'd want to listen to, but I got no problem with Louis Armstrong. Yes, indeed. Drink tea. That's what I have to do. I have to drink tea and biscuits. The Ruttles. Let's see. Yeah, lots of germs on them gas pumps, and not just the gas pumps, but the checkout machines, the self checkouts, the kiosks, places even when you go to doctors now, there's this new thing at doctors, the doctors I'm going to, where they want you to sign in. You can't even go up to the receptionist and say, "Hi, it's me, it's Joe. I have an appointment, 3 o'clock appointment." You can't even do that anymore. You got to go up and you got to put your hands on these machines and like scroll in. I'm like, this is a doctor's office. People have diseases, COVID or anything else possible. What the hell do you want to touch public stuff like that for if you can avoid it? You know. Um, Nick says, "I feel you on the new Joan Jett EP. Yeah, I just had a video up about the Joan Jett EP called Mindsets. I don't know why they're calling it an EP. If it's not a physical piece of vinyl or a CD or something physical on a disc, it's not an EP at all. I call it an extended file. It's a file. Uh, yeah, it's funny that "I Love Rock and Roll" was the song that got me into Joan Jett, in 1982, and now, it's one of those songs just like "Hey Jude" or "Maggie May" or any of those songs that's overplayed to death. What's my karaoke tune? Oh, I wouldn't be caught dead going up publicly and singing karaoke, even though I do it in the videos sometimes. Hello, James. Why did the Beatles organization just release the Beatles albums in chronological order with the reissues? That way we wouldn't. Oh, I see. That way we wouldn't wonder which ones we're getting. Well, you'd have to ask them. I don't know the reason they do it. They put out the ones that they feel, I guess, are the most popular. All the Beatles are popular. All the Beatles albums. But I understand why they did Sergeant Pepper first. They figured they consider that the Beatles' masterpiece and game-changing album, so that's why that was first. You know. Yes, I do like ABBA. I mean, not every song. I don't have to listen to album after album after album, but let me hear about 7 songs that I like, 7 or 8 songs, the biggies. I like both versions of "Stand by Me," but I actually prefer John's version. I just do. I like Benny King's version too, but yeah, I thought of this. So at the doctor, if you go to the doctor, you got to bring gloves. What a mess! What this world? What a mess! Yeah, yeah, Martin. I should buy a 24 pack of Diet Coke for Beansy at my record store. Save money in the long run. Okay, hi Frederick. He says, "I'm a big John Lennon fan like you, and I'm embarrassed to say I just bought Double Fantasy for the first time. It was near mint for $11. Yeah, well, Double Fantasy is one of the most common albums to find used. I mean, in my record store where I like to go, they get copies of Double Fantasy in every day. I mean, it's one of the most common. Yeah, there's certain songs that are cranked up, and I'm glad you brought this up, Henry, because uh, I talk about how tired I am of certain songs, and Beatles songs in particular. If Yesterday comes on, I switch it. I don't want to hear Yesterday, Come Together. I'm just tired of certain songs. But it's funny, I was driving around in a good mood yesterday afternoon, and Get Back came on the radio. And I cranked it up. And I loved it. Listening to that Ringo driving drum, it's like, it really is a great, great rocker. And yeah, they overplay Get Back to death, and I've heard Get Back enough times, God knows. But boy, I really enjoyed it in the car. Bad thing about DL albums, quote, songs many times not in lossless files, so sound is compromised. Yeah, yeah. I don't even count that. I just responded to somebody, I think DCM Photography, I think his name. I just responded to somebody in a comment about, oh, this is the way it's going to be. You got to get used to it. Pretty soon, physical media is going to become landfill. I've been hearing that since 2000. And it probably will at some point be a lot less, but it's getting less now. But you'll always stuff like this. Books are never going to go anywhere. CDs are not going to go anywhere. Records are not going to go anywhere. Toys are not going to go anywhere. Even if they stop making new ones, brand new physical stuff, which I don't think they're going to. But even if they did, you could still go to thrift stores, flea markets, liquidation places, estate sales. You could buy this stuff for the rest of the next 300 years. You're always going to have physical stuff, even if it's not being manufactured new, which I don't believe is going to happen. That they're not going to manufacture them. Yeah, Waterloo is probably my favorite ABBA song, and I have a connection to my late sister. My sister loved ABBA, and that was her real go-to ABBA song, Waterloo. Um, what songs would you like them to perform? I'm late. I don't. You have to explain what. I get lost. I don't know what we were talking about. Yeah, Peter Frampton is excellent in my opinion. I think that new Dolly Parton "Let It Be" cover version is excellent. I love it. Emotionally made me choke up. I loved it, and I forgot. Well, I didn't know when I made my video. I didn't realize that Peter Frampton was on it. I should have did a little more research. I ran to make the video after I heard it. So, Woodland, I don't know what you're talking about. Digital, I don't know what you're referring to. Not certainly. Digital doesn't really go with me too much. Yeah, back in the USSR is one of those songs I just don't want to hear anymore. I mean, when I play the White Album, I listen to it obviously in its entirety, but generally I don't want to hear it. I don't know. For some reason, Martin keeps pushing this 1999 Parkinson interview about Paul. Supposedly, it's a very good interview. I mean, I don't remember all the interviews, which are which, but I've seen all kinds of interviews with Paul Wogan, Parkinson, Aspel, David Frost. I've seen every kind of interview with Paul. Oprah. I've seen everything he ever did from just about from every country, every year, from the Beatles till now. And I I probably seen it. I just don't remember exactly which is which. Oh, I prefer Elvis by 100,000 miles. I mean, I like some of Frank's stuff, and I like a little bit, but I'm not a big Frank guy. I'm more of an Elvis guy for sure. If McCartney announced a tour, but he was only doing his solo stuff and no Beatles, would anyone complain? Yes, indeed. People would complain. All the basic sheep, the people, the peasants out there, they'd all complain. The diehards like me, we want to see a show with only solo. I know I speak for a lot of diehard fans like Two Legs, Andy and Tom. I'm sure they agree. Let's have a tour with no Beatles, but he'd never do that. He'd never do that because he's bound to let people down. And I don't know why he can't just say, "Hey, look, this is going to be a show or a tour, whatever, with no Beatles. That's the way it is. The McCartney hardcore tour or something, and take it as it is. Like put your integrity ahead once of just pleasing every single fan or getting dollars or whatever it might be. And I'm not saying that Paul tours for the money. I don't believe he does. I believe Paul tours because he likes to tour. He loves to play in front of people. He loves the adoration, loves to see the fans. I believe that's his main motivation, but not as many people would go, maybe. So, okay. Oh, there's been a violent resurgence since about 2012 or something like 2010, something like that. They're never gonna stop making Linda McCartney frozen meals. Okay, let's see. Well, from your lips to God's ears, Henry. I hope you're right about that. Yes, I heard that Netflix is stopping its DVD service, and I hope they suffer for it. But we'll see. May probably not. Yes, I do like the airplane in the end at the end of Back in the USSR as it fades into Dear Prudence. I'm anxious to get to the end because it's not one of my favorite songs back in the USSR, and I don't know why not. It's a good rocker, but I do like to get it over with, and here it goes shh into Dear Prudence. I didn't hear that Paul went back and re-recorded the drums on Get Back. I didn't hear that. I find it strange when people moan about Paul singing Beatles songs. You mean live? Why would it be strange? You gotta you gotta figure where we're coming from. There's people like me who are diehard fans. I've seen Paul since 1989, and I like all his solo stuff too. I've heard him do "Hey Jude," Eleanor Rigby, all that kind of stuff. Penny Lane. I've heard him do that stuff. Get Back. I've heard him do that a gazillion times now. I'm done with it. I want to see him do some deep stuff, some real deep dive stuff from solo albums. It's not that unusual, is it? Do you have a Beatles song that you hum frequently or most often? No, just depends on my mood, I guess, or what comes to mind. Hello to Dr. Robert. Hello. Do I think the Beatles Decca recording should be remastered? I think I was watching a Andrew Dixon stream the other day, and he said he thought they should be. I say the same thing, and as I agree with what Andrew said. He said, and I concur. Yes, this stuff's been released to death. It's been released in a lot of different formats, but I like to get a real official blowout drop, the best quality you can get, a blowout. Do it the right way, the right speed, do everything perfectly. All booklets and photos, make it really, really the official thing. And maybe even with input from Pete Best, that would be nice. Hello, Daniel Bean. Oh, no. No, you said I'll have to go digital to get the new Joan Jett EP. No, I will not. I will do without. I will do without rather than digitally play the Joan Jett songs. Joan Jett's released 6 new songs in June. I didn't even know. I just made a video talking about it. And what I will do is maybe I will get somebody to burn me those 6 songs onto a CDR, and I'll play the CD. But I will play a physical. thing. Okay, that's how I'm going to listen to my music. I believe to have the stuff forever. You have it in your collection, you have it forever. It's not going anywhere, and you'll always have it. Long after they discontinue it, the files aren't up anymore, and the downloads aren't available. Move that goes for movies, and it goes for music. Well, I understand how you feel, but I don't want to hear Paul sing "Let It Be" live anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. "Let It Be" is one of my all-time favorite Beatles songs, and it's one of the songs that if it comes on the radio, I leave it on. That's one that I just don't get tired of. But I'm tired of Paul singing it live at concert, to tell you the truth. And yes, I do like the song "Octopus's Garden" quite a bit. It's a fun Ringo song, and Ringo's just a charming, good-natured bloke. And well, that's you like Ringo's personality with that. Do I like the Pina Colada song? Yes, I do. I think we need happier, fun, uplifting, good top 40 songs like that again. It's a shame that we don't have them. It's not one of my all-time favorites, go-tos. I wouldn't put it in my top 500 or anything, I don't think. But sure. Yeah, this song "Good Night" is nice. Would be nice if Ringo did it as a closer. I like that. Yeah. Okay, I like this. Daniel says, I actually had a Facebook friend post a positive story about John, showing him in his early days. I told her it was refreshing that he wasn't getting bashed. She runs into the same thing. Yeah, I see that all the time. We're at a period now in the last several years where it's just all they do is bash John and talk about all his faults and none of the good. The opposite of what happened with John back when he was killed. Back in the 1980s, it was all positive about John the Saint, which was ridiculous and it was wrong, and it was John was no saint, not all the time. But it's also just as wrong to make him the devil. So they got to find a happy medium on there. I gotta let's see where I'm going here. Try to go pretty fast. You know that. I don't know Blade Runner. I might have seen Blade Runner in the movies. I can't remember Blade Runner, to tell you the truth. With Paul playing live, what is the most you have ever paid for a McCartney ticket? What is the highest you would pay? I don't think these days I would pay a lot. I think the most I paid is probably like maybe $200, something like that. 100, 200 maybe, something like that. I think maybe 150, something like that. But you don't have to pay 500 or $1,000. People say, "Oh, the prices are crazy." You could pay $100, you'll be up in the nosebleeds, but you don't have to pay that much money to get into the stadium and to be there. Okay, thank you very much. Cheers, Rob. Just Rob. Um, I don't really care, but McCartney's going to do whatever's popular. That's the only thing about Paul. Paul's going to do whatever's popular. He's going to only attend the birthdays of people that would that would be good. He's not going to attend the birthdays of anybody that would look bad or anything. So that doesn't really impress me much. I prefer, with a little help from my friends, the Octopus's Garden, for what it's worth. No, I have no interest in doing a Ouija board for anything. Hello, Rob. Yes, I'm in good health. Yes. Uh, I'd like to see Paul with his band, some backup singers, maybe a small orchestra. Yeah, I've just had enough of Paul live. I believe that Paul has given us a lot of great shows, and he's been around from 1989 till right now. He's going to be in Australia and Brazil. And if you haven't seen Paul in all these decades, that's on you. I don't mean you, Rob. I mean anybody out there listening. If you haven't seen Paul, it's on you. You know. Yeah, I don't like the Revolution 9 on its own, but when I'm listening to the White Album, I always listen to it through. And I would rather have the song, if you can call it a song, I'd rather have the experimental track Revolution 9 than not at all. Because, yeah, it makes the White Album more abstract, cool, more variety, yeah, all that stuff. So I got no problem with that. Do I like the George Harrison song, Cheer Down? Yeah, it was at the end of Lethal Weapon 2. I love that song. Cheer Down is beyond a doubt one of my all-time favorite George Harrison tracks, solo tracks. Cheer Down, love it. Hi Peter. I never spent any time with an iPod. There was one time where my ex-wife bought me. I don't know if it was an iPod or something small, small device that you could put all your Beatles songs in, and I put that in the radio, the car, and I plugged it in for a while, and I kind of scrambled it all. But to me, it's not the same thing. I've never been big on iPod. I've never been to Liverpool. I'd like to be there someday. I hope I get there. I think I'm more interested in going to Abbey Road, than I am to going to Liverpool. But I'd like to do both. You know, Let It Be as a hymn. It could be looked at that way. The Mother Mary at the beginning. Paul said the Mother Mary is his own Mother Mary. He's talking about his own mom. He said, but he said in interviews, of course, because Paul wants to be, you know, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Generous with everybody, and he wants to accommodate. That's the word, accommodating. He says, if you want to think of it as the religious Mother Mary, that's fine too. So it's like whatever you like. Uh, yes, I like Joe Cocker's version, but I prefer Ringo's with a little help from my friends. I like Birthday better than Back in the USSR, but to tell you the truth, I'm sick of both of those songs. Really sick of both of them. Hello, Mary Lou. There is no news on it yet, When there's news, believe me, I'll be right there making a video and I'll be talking about it. I really hope they're going to tell us what's going on with it. Hopefully, this next week coming up, because they were going to do it a week or two ago, and then I think because of Taylor Swift, I think that's why they didn't really release the news. I think because Taylor Swift had new stuff uh, to promote. So that's what I think. Okay, JL Draw says that now and then will retain a writing and production credit to all four Beatles. Okay, with publishing rights to be retained exclusively by John's estate. That's interesting. That's some news. There you go. That's some news. Now it says Giles and Jeff will also be credited with Ben Foster assisting on strings, Giles Martin and Jeff Lynne. This is a tough one. I'll pick Revolution over Helter Skelter, but it's the fast version of Revolution, but just by the slimmest of hairs. Yeah, I suppose so. I could listen to Copacabana. Yeah, I guess so. Hmm. Wow, what do I think music would be like if Elvis and the Beatles didn't exist? Ugh, I shudder to think about it. I shudder to think about it. I can't even imagine it because, I don't know how you imagine it because we've had it the way we've had it for so many decades that it's hard to imagine what it would be like. You know, there's some more news about now and then. I think Paul's Australia tour is in October. Am I right about that? When is Paul playing Australia? It's this fall. I don't know whether it's September, October, November, but I think Octoberish. Maybe September too. Maybe some late September dates. With Harrison being involved in loving Monty Python, would you have said John had the same type of sense of humor? Yes, I think they did have the same type of sense of humor. No, Mr. Blood Vessel, I don't think you can count on that. No. Would I ever listen to Revolution 9 in the middle of the night all alone? No. Um, I used to, when I first discovered it, when I first heard the White Album when I was in my teens, I played it for some, a friend or two here or there to freak them out. But no, I would never just play it by itself. No. So, favorite song or segment within the Abbey Road medley? Well, the whole thing is one piece to me. It's really hard to say. I do love Mean Mr. Mustard. Mean Mr. Mustard is one of my favorites bits in there. It's hard to say. Golden Slumbers is great. Uh, she came in through the bathroom window. I have no thoughts on Freddie Mercury stuff. No, I don't even know about it until now. Okay, Mary Lou says Liverpool would be the one with the most Beatles history, but Richard can't pronounce the last name properly, has a great walking tour in London. Yeah, I definitely want to do Liverpool also. I definitely want to, I'd like to go to the Casbah. I'd like to meet Pete Best there, maybe. I mean, I met Pete Best before, but it'd be nice to see him in Liverpool. Playing the Beatles song "Birthday" on your actual birthday is nice, though. You have to understand, though, you're only 21 years old. I've been past that. I used to get a kick out of playing "Birthday" on my birthday when I was like, 17, 18 years old. I think one time I thought to myself, I'm going to play it as many times as I am. Like if I turn, say, 17, I'm going to play "Birthday" 17 times. I used to do stupid things when I was like that. But, I'm now not a kid anymore, so I don't really um, care, about that kind of thing. I don't like Simon and Garfunkel. I love Simon and Garfunkel. I love Simon and Garfunkel. Having said that, I don't love every song off every album, but I do I think I have a complete set of their albums. I didn't make many, but I do like Simon and Garfunkel and some Paul Simon solo stuff. I'm not interested in Art Garfunkel solo. Hi, David. There is no news yet on the Red and Blue albums. I wish I could give you some. I wish I could give you some. Okay, this is a fair enough question. No, it's not too nosy. Uh, who gets my collection if I suddenly pass away? Well, if my girlfriend is still with me, I would say her, and I hope that she would be able to sell it to people who would appreciate it, and then she'd get good money for it. She wouldn't get rooked or gypped, and it's not going to be junked. Because I don't have any children. I used to think I have a nephew who loves music and he likes the Beatles, but as he's gone on in his musical career, as well, fandom, I should say, not career. I mean, words come out here and there. His musical fandom. The Beatles are like a stepping stone for him now. Like most people, he's gone on to other things as well. He's not all Beatles, but he loves the Beatles. But I just don't think he's the kind of, I wouldn't want him to get the collection because he's not going to keep all this stuff. But anyway, that's the best I could say. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say. I tell you, I like, from what I know of Mal Evans, I like Mal Evans. Mal Evans is seems like a great big teddy bear, sweet guy. Neil Aspinall, a little more to what I can get out of him, a little more tough, a little more businessy, a little bit more, you know, difficult. So I'll go with Mal Evans, I guess. Okay, JL Draw doesn't think Taylor Swift is involved in the delay of why we didn't get an announcement yet. Absolutely not. I know you're trying to get a rise out of me. There's no way. I would never want to hear Paul McCartney do Revolution. Leave some for John. No, no way. I do like the song "Never Going Back Again" on Rumors. I love every single song on that album. The other day we had a discussion, and the question was if you had to have like least your least favorite song from the Fleetwood Mac Rumors album, what would it be? I picked that one. That's probably my least favorite of all the songs, but I do love them all. Okay, do you think the movie medley single from the 1980s should be included on the Red and Blue album? Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. All I can state on the Red and Blue is that the track listing will not be reconfigured from what is already known. Each collection will be enhanced but not transformed, if that makes any sense. I'm still waiting for the official announcement. I know there's some people that have gone out there and they made like a bunch of videos. I think I made one video on that. I really don't know. So, okay. You're talking about the Alana Miles song, Black Velvet. I really like that song, but what do I know? Some people think all I know and like are Beatles. I like the song Black Velvet, if that's the one you're talking about. No, Henry. You said, would you say that the Beatles influenced more people and that their influence is more impactful than Elvis? And you would say yes. I know you're not big on Elvis. From what I remember, you heard like what, three Elvis songs? I think Henry was once on here. He said he's heard like three Elvis songs or four Elvis songs or something like that, and he's basing his whole opinion on listening to those amount of Elvis songs. He's not an Elvis guy. Elvis was immensely influential. Obviously, the Beatles were inspired by Elvis, and no, they're both about the same. I'd say Elvis and the Beatles are both equally, uh, influential, in my opinion. That is so. So we have here, so the Red and Blue album won't be remixed. And JL Draw says remixed, yes, but not transformed in regards to what is known. You mean no extra tracks on there? Because, of course, there are videos saying, oh, there's going to be all extra tracks on there. They're going to put tracks that have never been on there. It's going to be a three-record set and all this kind of stuff. That may still be true. I'm not saying yes or no. I don't know. Tanner Johnson, hello. What's going on? I was listening to Ringo's Choose Love album today. That one would probably be in my top 10 Ringo albums, and I'm hoping for a vinyl release to come out. Well, I definitely want a vinyl release of Choose Love. I also want a vinyl release of Vertical Man and Liverpool 8, Ringo Rama, and whatever else I'm missing. If that may be all, I don't know. I want them all on vinyl at some point. Hopefully they will be. Choose Love for me is not in my top 10. It's one of my less, it'll be my lower Ringo albums. But, it's just me. Yes, I do think that a day in the life could be a little scary too. I think that's part. It's very like ominous and creepy in a way, and it should be about blowing your mind out in a car and all that kind of thing, and etc. etc. What's for dinner? Well, we're going to be going to probably go to Applebee's or a diner or something. Going out with Anthony. We're going out to see the Fab Four tribute band. We got free tickets. So we're going to be doing that. I'm going to have to get off here a little earlier than usual, maybe 5:15 or something to get ready for it. But anyway, so going out to dinner, yeah. But the thing is, in preparation for that, I made sure during the day like I just had like a salad today so far, and that's it because I know we're going to be going out to this other place. Tim Allen said it, I didn't. And of course, if you want to contribute anything, you're welcome to do that too. You could always make a contribution to help the channel out. Tim said it, I didn't. Well, he made me think of it. Um, yes, it's very sad how Al Evans was killed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I don't want to get into that right now, but yeah. Well, no, they shouldn't have. It was an accident. But when somebody's waving around a gun, I think it was an air gun, right? It was an air gun. It wasn't a real gun. And he was like, I think he was either drunk or out of it, and he was kind of like standing there waving a gun at the police. So what they thought was a real gun. And it was a tragedy, real tragedy. If I got rid of all my Beatles collections, what musical artists would I be left with? Many. I have many other artists. And I love that picture, Dino. That's a beautiful picture of Linda. I like it. She looks fantastic. I always love Linda McCartney's smile. And that's a good one. I do like some of the Doors songs. Yes, I do. There were about, when I say that, I say some of them. There's probably about half a dozen I really like, maybe seven, eight, I think. I don't know if there's 10, but I want to get more of their albums and listen to the whole album, but I do like the Doors. No, as far as I know, Mal did not have a gun. He had a fake gun or an air gun or something like that, I think. Tim Allen says he thinks the movie medley should be included as it has never appeared on compact disc anywhere before. Well, the movie medley is not really the Beatles. It's they just somebody put together, their stuff. Well, I guess no, the movie medley. I guess maybe so. You know what I'm starting to think? I was thinking of Stars on 45. I was thinking of Stars on 45. So really, there you go. Dr. Roberts has a pellet gun. I don't know, either a pellet gun or what, or an air gun or something. I've never been able to sit through the entire movie Barbarella, but I'll say one thing: Jane Fonda is hot in that movie. She is gorgeous, and the beginning, it's worth seeing just for the opening credits. She is a good-looking woman in those days. Uh, but I've never been able to see the whole thing. Let's see. How do I like the recent CD remasters of Stop and Smell the Rose and Old Wave? I haven't heard them. I haven't heard them. I mean, I don't know. First of all, Old Wave, I don't like that album. I do not like it. I only like a couple of two or three songs on it. I do like Stop and Smell the Roses, but I haven't played it yet. Do I like Aerosmith? Yeah, some of the songs again, I don't have to have every Aerosmith album, but I like some. The track sequence of the Red and Blue album will remain intact. That said, beyond that track list, there will be enhancements. Sorry to be so vague. Hopefully, we'll be able to be more candid shortly. Okay, thank you very much. Boy, would I like to know who you are. Yeah, I don't know if we got a coupon for Anthony for the Applebee's visit, but I know we got free tickets to the show. So the venue where the band is playing is a place called, well, it used to be called Westbury Music Fair, and it really is. It's my favorite venue to see anything. It's a very small place. You get any seat is pretty much a good seat, and they have usually a stage that sometimes turns. It doesn't always turn, but it sometimes slowly turns. I've seen Ringo there a number of times. Sometimes the stage does not turn. Peter Boothroyd, you're embarrassing me. Thank you, Peter Boothroyd, for your donation. See, Peter Boothroyd it's always the same two or three guys, and I'm always grateful. Thank you for helping out there, Peter. But some other person could. Well, I kind of talked about it. I thought it was a tragedy and it was senseless, but it was an accident. It was an accident, but if I understand the situation, they had no choice. I mean, I could be wrong. It's easy for everybody to say, well, nobody was there. None of us were there. So we don't know. But, cops have to act sometimes really quick. I don't know. All I know is it's a tragedy. It's sad, and terrible. We lost a good one, you know. There's no word on the John Lennon New York box set sometime in New York City, nor is there any word on any John Lennon box set. I wish the Lennon estate would start getting it going. And I wish they would say, you know what? We're gonna put out sometime in New York City anyway. Eat it. I really wish they would do that, but hmm, I guess not. I don't dislike Elvis, just haven't heard much from him. I do love Jailhouse Rock, great song. Well, that's one of the 3 or 4 songs you've heard, so listen to more. Hello to Mr. Beatles Pro. How you doing, Tom? Thanks for saying hi. Uh, I actually I used to own a copy of Smash Hits. Now I have the album Are You Experienced? And even though they're not all like all the big hits on there, all of them I mean are on that album. I like the whole album. Are You Experienced? I've never seen the movie Almost Famous. Had to laugh here in the UK the other night. They showed the uncut version of the '30s King Kong. I'm surprised these days that they would actually do that. Do you like Madonna's songs? There are a number of Madonna songs I like, yes, but not a true big Madonna fanatic or anything. I have a Technics turntable and I have a Audio Technica that's modeled after the Technics 1200 right now. Those are the two. Well, that's what I feel too. In addition to Mal Evans, sadly being killed in an accident, and that kind of thing. I also feel terrible about that. But I also feel terrible about the fact that good old Mal was, being that screwed up that he was acting like a threat. That's a shame. Um, I prefer. That's a tough one. You see, I gotta understand. I grew up with the Brady Bunch, and I grew up with Happy Days. If I gotta pick one, I'll pick Happy Days. But I only pick Happy Days up to season 4. After that, you can have it. It's garbage. Then it becomes 1980s. Or 70s. It doesn't. It doesn't look anything like the 50s. So there you go for that. Yeah, I got my picture taken with Linda too. Unfortunately, that particular day she wasn't looking her best, but I'm glad she had no makeup on. Her hair was dirty, but whatever. I'm so glad to have it. Thank you very much, Peter Boothroyd. That's nice of you to say that. If you want to help out, but again, I don't. You got to understand when I say that. It sounds like pressure, but no, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. It's not necessary, but you got to ask. So I mean, and I don't ask every time. Some people think he asks. All he does is ask. If you watch, I don't expect anybody here to sit down and watch everyone all the hours I've done of this. But you can see you got to be waiting a long time to find me asking that much. Okay, thoughts on "Woman Is the End of the World," the John Lennon song. I love that song. I think the band Elephant's Memory is really hot on it and cooking. I really like it, even though Elephant's Memory. I'm not saying they're the greatest band in the world. No offense, Elephant's Memory, if you're watching, but I love them on that track, and I think John's voice is really good on that track. It's actually a song that's a women's rights song. It has nothing to do with the N word. Has nothing to do with that. It's just trying to say that women are treated so bad. They're treated like slaves. That kind of thing. So it's a pro woman song, and that's how I feel about it. And I think it's a great one. Would I give up Paul or Ringo for John or George if you were able to? Oh boy, oh my God, I ain't even going to answer that. I don't even know how I feel about that. I'm not wearing a Sergeant Pepper suit. I don't own a Sergeant Pepper suit. Do I like the Traveling Wilburys? Yes, I do. I like the Traveling Wilburys. I think that the first album is great, and the second album, Volume 3, even though it's only the second one, I think is underrated. And these days, believe it or not, I'm so used to the first album. If I'm going to play a Wilburys album, I play the second usually these days. Yeah, I think. Oh, the Invisible Ghost. Oh, I have to disagree with you. But you see, first of all, this is just my opinion, Tom. But Bela Lugosi made 9 films of that series. I don't know if you knew the Monogram films, and there's 9 of them, and that's considered one of the best ones. So if you didn't like that one, you're not gonna like the other ones. I think it's for those for that series of films, I think that's one of the better ones. So it shows you, you know. All right, a lot of people, like 3 people, are telling me I've got to see Almost Famous. I've got so many things to do: records, books, movies. You know, favorite version of the song "Bridge Over Troubled Water," Simon and Garfunkel. If you mean other than that, I only really know Elvis doing it. I think, which is nice. You know. Okay, on my movie channel, it's a good time to take a break. Folks, I have a movie channel. The movie channel is called Mayo's Marquee, like a movie marquee. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You can find a link somewhere, I think, in my main page. And I'm trying to build that up. It's been a long time. I haven't made a video in 2 weeks, but I'm going to try. I still say I'm going to try to do more. So keep up with that. Anyway, on your movie channel homepage, you have pictures of people you met. You have a picture of you with Christopher Lee. Who's the celebrity at the left of Christopher Lee? Are you talking about Charlton Heston? You're not talking about Charlton Heston, are you? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what order they're in. Is that a new T-shirt? I like the shade of blue. I'm glad you said it because this is a good color on me. I gotta say. There's certain colors you look better in than others, and I gotta say, I've always, I don't know if this is the one, if this is quite the teal color. It's more blue, but thank you very much, J.L. Draw. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Um, was Boris Karloff or Bela Lugosi the better actor? Everybody says Boris Karloff, and I'm inclined to go along with that. But the thing with Bela Lugosi is he was from the Hungarian stage, and he played on stage before movies and stuff. So he has a different acting method. But I think they're both good actors. Did you ever notice that some of the songs in A Hard Day's Night are slower than the records? Well, when it first came out, I know the songs were slower, but I don't know how much of that has to do with. Somebody will tell me. It has to do with the England system, the PAL system or whatever. Now I believe they've just redubbed everything with the modern tracks, stereo tracks or the modern sounds. So it's not the original soundtrack anymore, from what I understand. Same thing with the movie Help. When the movie Help has the album version, the one that says "But Now These Days Are Gone." The most common version of Help, the song "But Now These Days Are Gone." Well, originally John sang on the single version, and now these days are gone. And Help originally, the movie Help had the single version in there, and you never hear that anymore. Never hear it anymore. They always dub in the album version. Thank you very much, Lila. Yeah, I'm gonna see what we can do with that. See, make a video about it. If things go well, I'll make a video. I'll take Michael Jackson over Freddie Mercury. I do have 2 autographs by Christopher Lee. I got to meet him a couple of times. Unfortunately, I don't have Peter Cushing's autograph. I would have loved to meet Peter Cushing. Bela Lugosi was not addicted to heroin. Bela Lugosi was addicted to painkillers. I think morphine. He was addicted to a painkiller. He had sciatic pain, nerve pain. You see, that's another problem. You see, anybody now you want to talk about why I hate certain biopics? I don't know if you got this from the movie Ed Wood. The Johnny Depp movie, Tim Burton. It makes it look like he's just a drug addict. They don't talk about him having chronic sciatic back pain and leg pain. He had a leg pain that went down his leg, and he was addicted to painkillers. It was not heroin. I'm not saying it's just as bad. It's just as bad. It's just as debilitating and controlling. But I'm trying to say it wasn't heroin. No, I did not see the Doors movie. Although I do think that Val Kilmer makes a perfect looking Jim Morrison. I think that was great casting. Uh, Hello, Dave. Your channel is one of the better Beatles channels out there. You have the patience of an angel to keep answering some of the stupid questions you get asked. Well, and sometimes you have to ask the same, you have to answer the same question a lot of times because I realize that not everybody has heard the answers already. Same thing, I guess, when Paul McCartney has to talk about how he wrote Yesterday and stuff like that. I saw the movie Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox in the movie theater and don't remember a thing about it. I don't care about it, but I did see it when it came out. No, I did not replace my shelving unit. It's not necessary. I know everybody was freaking out about the video I made. It's not necessary. It's been 8.5 years, and only one shelf broke on the side, one record shelf. And as you probably know, that was because the guys who installed it, I had guys build it from IKEA and install it. They turned it around, right? So instead of the records resting on, some people might not know this, instead of the records resting on the proper base floor, it's turned where the side panels are, so it's resting on the side panels. But I've had this 8.5 years. I plan on moving within 2 years, hopefully. Within 2 years, fingers crossed. So hopefully, nothing else. It was a fluke. And the only reason that one broke was because I had been going in there and taking a lot of bootlegs in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out to make videos. I was making bootleg videos, and that's probably why that happened. I don't know. Yes, I've always said Pet Sounds is overrated. I love Wouldn't It Be Nice, and I love God Only Knows and Sloop John B, but the rest of it to me is overrated. Have I ever been to Chick-fil-A? Yeah, one time I think I've been to Chick-fil-A. It was good if I remember correctly. And here's what we mean before. No offense, but Joe has expressed how he feels about a million times about Pet Sounds. Well, this is why I say I think The King and the Fab Four is new to my channel. I think. I'm not sure. And, this is why you have to allow for people that may not have heard this stuff before. So I think I saw a video of Paul dancing. It sounds familiar. Tim says the Doors movie is one of the very few films that he ever turned off and not finished. Interesting. I know you have a thing about talking about Lulu, but I'm not going to go there anymore. Um, can you name a Beatles song that you like the music and hate the lyrics? I'm not wild about Altogether now. The lyrics are really childish and juvenile, but that's the idea. That's the first one that pops into my mind. That's the first one that pops into my mind. I didn't realize that Sloop John B is a cover song, so there you go for that. Yes, I would say the thing about the Beach Boys music is their early music, especially. It's a beach sound. Hey, let's go to California. Let's get some waves. Let's get some good chicks. That's very you know California beach oldies stuff. So yeah, but you say Queen, and you keep trying to get me. You keep trying to get on my nerves with that. I'm not a Queen fan. It's as simple as that. I like 4 or 5 songs, if that. You know. Yeah, these days it's getting like that. I think. Yeah. All right, so we're caught up now for the moment. I'm caught up with the questions, and it's good because I only want to be on an hour and 10 minutes. So let's see how we do from this point on. Hello, Darren Gamble. I don't know what that line means. There's nobody there and only Northern Song. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody sounds like it could come out today if you like opera. Oh, Rico Caruso, Figaro, Figaro. Not a fan. The only thing I know about tonight is that our tickets that we got for free say obstructed. So wherever we're sitting, it's obstructed view. We may sit in the back of the stage, the side of the stage. Who knows where we're going to sit? You know. I do like some glam rock and the Sweet, Fox on the Run and Little Willie and stuff like that. Do I think Elvis deserves to be called the king? I've always thought that. In fact, I called him the king today. I was at the record store and I saw Ed of the King's Court, and for his sake, I said, "Oh, the king, hey, it's L.A. Something about I was really big on the king recently, and blah blah blah." But I don't know. I can see why Elvis is called the king, but I have to think about it because these days I'm not as sure as I was. Yeah, I can't turn on my radio without hearing opera. Well, I do like Chuck Berry's rock and roll very much. Is he the real king of rock? I don't know because I think Elvis. See, a lot of it to me has to do with who's first in that regard, and I think Elvis was. I was looking that up the other day. I think Elvis pretty much had some rock stuff out before Chuck, but I like Chuck Berry though. Absolutely not. Paul is not dead. That's a lot of nonsense, and so are the clues nonsense. I don't think the clues are. I don't think the Beatles set up clues. I think by now, this many years removed, somebody would say that they did. You know. A lot of people say that. I don't agree. It's funny you should say that because just today, again on the radio, I heard "All Shook Up" by Elvis, and I listened to it and I thought he doesn't sound like he's black at all. A lot of people said he was trying to sound like a black man. I don't really hear that when I listen to Elvis. I like Fats Domino as well, but I wouldn't call him the king. Do I like the Rolling Stones? Yes, I do like the Rolling Stones. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do like that song. You never can tell. That was in Pulp Fiction. Yeah, I like that. That was probably the first time I ever knew that about that song. I hadn't heard about it before Pulp Fiction. I don't think. All right, so let's just finish up here because I'm going to be going very quickly, 5 minutes or so. Yes, the Beatles were influenced by Chuck Berry. The Beatles were influenced by Buddy Holly. Beatles were influenced by Elvis. The Beatles were influenced by a lot of people. Hello, Kit. Just pop it in. Say, have a great time at the concert tonight. Well, hopefully we'll be able to hear it. I just don't know with our obstructed view free tickets where we're going to be sitting. That's the only thing. But we'll see about that. So, okay, come on, folks. Let's do a few more. I mean, we got time for just 30, 40 more questions because I got nowhere to go. No, I actually have somewhere to go, but I'm going to wait. I mean, if we keep getting good questions, I'll answer them for another 5 minutes or so. You know. I know Woodland likes to believe that the Beatles left clues. He gets off on that. It's his. Everybody has their thing there. They believe no matter what. You can't tell them no. So he likes to believe that. So he believes that. But if you think Paul is dead and you don't know anything about the Beatles, you don't have tons of videos over there looking at Paul with all kinds of ticks and words and expressions and things that he did in 1963 that he still does in 2023. So obviously you don't know enough about Paul. Just the crap that you see online or whatever that you think is means he's dead. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that thing went fast. That talk more talk. Rack our brains is the video is up over at Talk More Talk. If you want to see the Fest for Beatles fans from Chicago, the panel Rack Our Brains that was done over there with Kit and crew. So we see the thing about Glass Onion. Glass Onion came out before the Paul is dead rumors came out. John wrote Glass Onion. He was referring to people are always looking for clues about things. They thought that Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds stood for LSD, and stuff like that. So before the Paul is dead rumors came, John's Glass Onion was already talking about like stuff like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and LSD and all that. So that's what he was referring to. The Paul is dead rumors hadn't come out yet. So when he said, "Here's a clue for you all," the walrus was Paul. He was not talking about the Paul is dead rumors because the Paul is dead rumors hadn't come out yet, and he could have said, I don't know. I'm trying to think what rhymes with George. Let's have some porridge because the walrus was George or something. Whatever. I can't. Well, I'm a terrible lyricist. Oh, it's so ridiculous. The people are nuts. If you believe Paul is dead, I mean, really believe it. If you really honestly believe it, you're nuts. Okay, and you just like conspiracy theories, and you like to have a good time, and all this stuff, and it's just garbage. No, yeah, yeah, well, because no, the license plate was wrong. 28 if Paul would be 27 if so the date is not right on that license plate. Paul was not 28 when that photo was taken. He was 27. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that for a second. Okay, it's easily explained. I don't agree, but you can have your opinion if you want. Take it to the grave with you. Epstein was dead at least 18 months before the rumors started. Yeah, I know Gene Vincent. Yeah, I like some Gene Vincent. Yeah, I know. When is my movie channel on again? Well, my movie channel is just a regular channel, Mayo's Marquee, that just has videos on it. Sometimes we do Tuesday nights. We do live chats like this just on movies, so you might want to look out for that. But just movie talk on those. No, the rumor did not start about Paul's death in '67. I think it was in '69. I mean, you get me wondering here now. In like November 60, wasn't it November '69? I mean, I'm some fan I am if I don't know the date, but the Paul is dead rumor started in late '69, and they're trying to insist that the Paul is dead stuff had been going on since like '67, '68, '60. Garbage. There you go. That's the problem, Tim. People like this, they just hear things online and they go with it. That's the problem with social media. You know. Hey, what's up, Chris? What's up? Well, I've only seen the first Back to the Future, so I never saw the other Back to the Future movies. The first one is good. And the saddest thing is, um, Woodland Goblin, the biggest Paul fan in the world, believes that Paul's dead. That's the craziest thing of all. And he's going to say, no, he doesn't believe that Paul's dead. He just he believes that the Beatles tried to make it look like that. He loves it. He loves it, so he believes it, and he tells himself all this stuff. It's garbage. It's nonsense. The Beatles didn't do anything of the kind. I'm not worried at all. I don't want to see Paul or Ringo go. Definitely don't want to see either one of them die. But I'm a realist, and I've been prepared. After John and George, I'm prepared for anything. So I realize that now that Paul is 81 and Ringo's 83, any day, God forbid, anything can happen. When it's time it comes, it comes. And I've been actually telling myself this for at least 10, 15 years now. I've been prepared. That's how I am. As long as it's not anything horrible. As long as it's not, as long as it's a natural thing, or, nothing tragic, you know. Yeah, I heard about this too. Somebody out there showed me there's three freckles on the left side of Paul's nose. Those freckles didn't change between 66 and 67. I know it's right. It's so silly. Yeah, this is how it started. Listen to Tim Allen. A college student wrote a gag article about Paul is dead in 1969. Another student read it and phoned a disc jockey. That's how it started. And people today, people crave excitement and controversy in their lives, so that's what they do. You know. There's no clue in 1967. He's saying cranberry sauce as sure as we're all here now. Okay, you can hear him say the cranberry sauce. You can hear the S. You can hear it. You can hear it on Anthology, the take of Anthology, where it's the same one on the record, only clearer and goes on and on a little longer. They just faded it sooner on the record. It's just silly. It's silly, silly, silly. Yes, indeed, Chris. I like lobby cards as well as movie programs. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, I hope Paul lives as long as he can, as long as he's in good health. I would never want to see Paul or Ringo in bad, bad health. Yeah, and somebody did a thing where they showed you pictures of John. Look at John from 1967, how long his face is, and look at him from 1965 or 6, how round his face is. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage. Stupid. I agree with you. I love both of these songs, both Junior's Farm and Listen to What the Man Said I love. Absolutely. Uh, so anyway, I'm ready to go now, folks. I got to go out tonight. Got to get something to eat and then go out to see the Fab Four, the free tickets I got. So thank you all for being here. I'll try to do this again next Saturday. Around the same time. So please take care. Thank you. Great to talk with you. I like checking in. So have a good